of Chaya Raichik? Lovely woman, swell woman. She's been the talk of the town recently. Well, not just recently, for a while now, for the past few months. And the whole thing surrounding her just existence has just ramped up and ramped up and ramped up. Like, first we get bomb threats, and now we get like a hate crime, like literally like 5 people getting in. I think 5 people died, I believe. The whole shebang. Obviously, Live to TikTok endorses it because she never came out and said that she never explicitly, to my knowledge, denounced the actions. She just said, all she did was say, well, it wasn't me, it wasn't my fault. Either her or her stands, you know, the ones that want to shove their fucking cock in her mouth. Yeah, those guys. Her lovely white knights. Yeah, that's the most that she has done. So recently her face has been revealed by herself, and herself, with the help of a few people that have just literally done nothing but connect a few strings and connect public information to public information. All I did was just connect a bunch of dots that were already there. Stuff that wasn't explicitly hidden, like not even hidden at all. Stuff that was available information for people to find. As well as a like Wayback Machine or whatever. You know, a bunch of other stuff. Still public stuff. All public stuff. Nothing hidden. None of this was doxing at all. So yeah, the whole her face being revealed, especially on the Facebook, wasn't a hidden Facebook. So like, want to get mad at people for looking at your Facebook? I'm sorry, that was public information. It wasn't even her Facebook either. It was a family member's Facebook that had her picture in it. So, and then she goes and reveals her face anyway. And there was also a lot of like money behind her, and just a lot of she got a lot of support from very notable right-wing figures. So she's not just one little person, just one little private citizen, just reposting stuff on Twitter. No. She had a lot of media backing. She had a lot. She met Tucker Carlson before her face was even revealed in the first place. She knew tons of powerful figures. And they like astroturfed her career into what it is. This isn't just like one little individual, one little defenseless, pure woman being attacked and just reposting stuff on the internet. No. Please stop. This isn't 1.7 million. This isn't just one little private citizen. This is a human being that is very notable and has influenced politics and legislation and caused people's deaths. No one private citizen has as much power as she does. She has a lot of power. There's nothing like weak or frail or whatever like dumbass images conservatives want to conjure up about her. She's none of those things. She's extremely powerful and insanely powerful. So what I want to do right now is look through a lot of her tweets, because a lot of conservatives want to say that oh, all she's doing, the only thing she ever does is retweet stuff. To people that have just an ounce, just a tiny, just a pint of a working brain cell, knows that is a load of bullshit. She does more than just repost stuff. She attaches narratives to these things. What she does is she reposts stuff and tells her followers how to feel about it. She says, "Here's this thing. Now, listen to me tell you how I want you to feel about this thing. That's what she does. It's manipulation. She doesn't just repost stuff. She creates false narratives around the stuff that she reposts and attaches extra stuff to that. Because it's not just the thing that she posts themselves. The way her whole brand is revolved around this idea that each individual thing she quote reposts are all part of this one giant movement, one giant cabal, or the Jews, if you want to get conspiratorial. I'm not saying she's saying that. It's whatever cabal that she believes in, but you know, it's vague enough to the point where anybody on the right can pretend it's whatever cabal they want it to be. It could be the Democrats, it could be the Jews, it could be just a movement of degenerates, or just Satan and demons. Whatever cabal they want it to be. So yeah, that's how her whole brand, her whole thing works. So I want you to understand, each individual thing she posts is for the most part isolated from several other things that she may or may not post, right? Because teachers like talking about queer stuff has nothing to do with drag shows. I don't know how many of them are even involved or even like drag shows, and vice versa, as well as all the BLM stuff and CRT stuff that she posts. I mean, there are even people that that talk about like whatever she believes is CRT and are anti-trans, or people who are just in favor of BLM that are also anti-trans or just don't like drag shows or whatever. There's a lot of different, there's layers to this. Is more, the world is more complex than conservatives want these things to be. But that's how the narrative doesn't work if they're not all part of this giant conspiracy cabal, you know? So I want you to keep that in mind as we go forward. So here's one tweet that deserves a little bit more nuance. So let me read it. Crocs is now sponsoring and promoting child drag shows where children perform dressed up in drag. Right off the bat, I don't really see anything where it says that children will be dressed up in drag. Hold on, let me check. Alright, so I checked and found something on RuPaul's DragCon thing. And this is very helpful. Look at all these images. Look at that. Look at all of it. This one's there's no kids in these I don't believe there's any kids here in the audience. No, I don't see any kids really. Alright, listen. You wanna know what this reminds me of? I'm gonna look at the boob thing. Yeah. You wanna know what this reminds me of? You wanna know? Comic-Con. Like legit, this literally, when I'm looking at these pictures, I can't like keep Comic-Con out of my head. Let's say that there are kids here, so like what's gonna happen? Like, okay, there was like one dude that was like scantily clad over here. All right, what's gonna happen when the child sees that? Oh my God, it's practically it's like, oh, you see that? Look at the boobs. Oh boy, it's literally like 2 steps away from shoving your dick in the child's mouth. First step, see flashy costumes, and oh look, scantily clad dude 12 seconds away from literally raping children. Obviously, there have been no like zero examples of drag queens and what have you, uh, child molesting. So what else is there? Is it gonna psychologically damage them? How? You notice how conservatives have a problem with just children like witnessing like these things existing? Yet they have yet to demonstrate like what kind of harm comes about from that. Because even before, even without like drag existing, kids have been exposed to worse. Like parents have taken their children to like R-rated movies, and honestly, those have been more psychologically damaging than what we're seeing here. To be honest, and they're even barely psychologically damaging because those kids just still grow up fine-ish. Like there are worse things in the world than seeing this. Alright, so a child sees like a scantily clad dude like we saw earlier. Alright, so what happens? Literally I got nothing. I can't even come up with a hypothetical like horrible thing that could come about from that, like legit. I don't know, maybe somebody can answer that for me. And they even have like and apparently from what I read, they're like doing like a little costume thing, like little like the kids dress up again. No different from Comic-Con, by the way. Like no different. But you know what, again, drag is like not even my thing. Like legit, like literally at all. It's like not an interest of mine. But you want to know what drag is to me? Like an outside looking in perspective of what drag is? You want to know exactly what it is? Flashy. 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 Can't really come up with a better description of that. Flashy, feminine colors. That's the majority of what I'm seeing. Like if you want to have a conversation about like certain things being inappropriate like this on the far left, there's a conversation to be had about that. It's not child grooming though. We can talk about what's inappropriate or what's not what is appropriate or what's not appropriate for children. We can do that without having to tether this to quote gender ideology. Again, drag is like for the most part isolated from like being trans or just gay in general. I don't know how many gay people are involved in drag or even care about drag. Me as a trans person, I don't care about drag at all. It's not an interest of mine. I believe the majority of trans people just are not even interested in drag. Like drag is like a subsection that is like part of like the whole idea of being gender non-conforming or just being like flashy colors with femininity and all that shit. You know, celebrating fashion mostly. It's not my thing. It's just heavy makeup, colors, flashy, and glitter. That's it. Yeah, that's my understanding of that. And yeah, apparently Teletubbies is like part of it as well. They're involved. I don't know how or why or whatever. I don't care. It's not my thing. It's just like a kids fashion show. Like if the kids aren't dressing up as what you see in child beauty pageants that have been normalized even before people were talking about drag shows. As long as we don't see kids dressing up like that, there's no issue. There shouldn't be any issue. It should be fine. There's nothing going to happen to them. They're going to be lit on fire for putting on like glittery clothes. Everything will be fine. Your kids will survive. But yeah, that is my whole take on that. Keep in mind, Chaya Raichik's tweet here is not isolated. Chaya uses very interesting the way the whole narrative around her Libs a TikTok account. The whole idea is tethering like this whole drag thing even if it is like somehow extremely bad and abhorrent, again, it's isolated from everything else regarding what she posts. But the way that she frames everything, none of these things are isolated. They're all the exact same thing. So her audience, when a conservative looks at this, when they see this drag show, they're also thinking of surgeries being gender affirming surgeries being performed on 3-year-old kids. Fucking, you got HRT pills being shoved down their throat. You also have teachers in the classroom literally pulling out dildos and sitting it on a desk. I'm not joking. This sounds exaggerated, but these are the exact things that they think of, among other things. This one thing is attached to all of what I just described, and more. This tweet is not isolated. She's trying to portray these things as all the same exact ideology, the same exact thing, because the narrative is that this is a giant cabal and it's a conspiracy. So now let's look at another tweet that she posted. Alright, this is a tweet about her being mad over mask mandates. I guess there's an article talking about wearing masks forever or whatever. Honestly, I don't care. I don't give a shit. It's not a concern of mine. I don't care about the whole COVID thing anymore. Like, honest to God, I think the damage has been done at this point. So yeah, moving on. So here's a video that Chaya Raichik has, quote, just posted. You know, just posted. Doesn't say anything about it. Doesn't prescribe anything whatsoever. She just posted it. Now I want you to look at the video, and I'm going to show you how she's, what Live to TikTok has said in the tweet above, alright?
Hi, my name is Sarah. My pronouns are she, her, they, and them. What are your pronouns? See, do you see how easy that is, people? All you have to do is ask somebody what they're...
Alright, not having to do with anything, a major pet peeve of mine is a whole like condescending attitude, talking down to people. As much as conservatives deserve it, I think it's really annoying, even if I agree with what she's saying here. It doesn't matter, I just think it's annoying.
Pronouns are, and then, I don't know, just respect it. It is really not that hard of a concept, and for all those people out there making it like a big, huge deal, you look like an idiot. It's really not. It's called respect, right? Respect. So let's try this again. Hi, my name is Sarah. My pronouns are she, her, they, them. What are your pronouns? Let's be friends.
Alright, seeing this video completely isolated from what Chaya Raichik said about it, what are your initial thoughts about it? Oh, is she just saying, respect people's pronouns? If you don't know somebody's pronouns, I guess ask. I mean, this is the kind of thing that you would, if you see somebody that looks kind of androgynous, like a, let's say it's a cis woman that wears like a really baggy hoodie and like baggy pants, and has this like kind of like deepish feminine voice where you can't even really tell if it's a 12-year-old boy, if it's like or if it's a 27-year-old woman that just is really short and has a baby face-ish. So these people do exist. I'm not like, this is not like just a hypothetical. These people do exist. It may seem rude to ask that person their pronouns, but like if you can't tell, just ask them like, sorry to ask, are you a boy or a girl? And then they tell you that, oh yeah, I'm a woman. Never met this person before, and I'm pretty sure this hypothetical person would understand that they look androgynous enough to the point where people will be confused if they're a boy or girl, which happens. So you ask what they identify as, and then they say, oh, I'm a woman, these are my pronouns, blah blah blah, there you go. Not a big deal, it's whatever, who cares? Even if the person may take it offensively, it's just a thing. If that hypothetical person, just takes it offensively, is like, oh, you can't tell if I'm a man or a woman, fuck you. I guess that's just an awkward situation. It could be either awkward or it could just be a respect. It's either one of those two things. Here's a lip the TikTok said about it. Self-described LGBTQ activist explains that all they're asking is for us to participate in their pronoun rituals and compel our speech. We shouldn't give in. Sounds stupid, right? Their hang-up is pronouns. Like, just simply respecting a person's chosen pronouns to make that person feel, the pronouns that makes that person feel comfortable. Somehow that is a religious ritual and also forcing you to compel your speech. No one's forcing you to do anything. You can choose whether or not to use someone's pronouns. Choosing not to, you're kind of just being an asshole, but you have every right to not respect someone's pronouns. But if you have a severe victim complex, you're gonna freak out every time somebody asks you to respect their pronouns. It's the most weakest pussy shit I've ever seen in my fucking life. Or like, whether or not you choose to use someone's preferred pronouns has no real effect on you whatsoever. It does affect the person who wants those pronouns to be used for them, though. Like, it doesn't affect you, but it does affect the other person. You know, this is how real life works. You know, like, you can swing your fists wherever you feel like, but your right to swing your fists ends right at my eyeballs, right at the tip of my fucking nose. Whether or not you punch me in the face has no real effect on you, but it has every effect on me. That's how this kind of thing works, and it also extends to social issues as well. Like, and I'm talking about like how you engage with people socially in real life. Me as a black person, right? The N-word affects me like a lot. But if you as a white person, hypothetically, I'm just gonna assume that you're a white person, you have every right to use that word whether you feel like it or not. It has no effect on you. It doesn't harm you in any way because you're not black. But it has every effect on the black person that you may or may not use it on. You have every right to use it, but if you choose to use it on a black person, then fuck you, you're a disrespectful piece of shit. Like, does me telling you not to use the N-word, is that an infringement on your free speech or your rights? Is that compelling your speech? No! You're not gonna get arrested for using the N-word. You may or may not get your ass kicked though. But that, if you decide to use the N-word on a black person, I'd say that that's just consequences. Welcome to consequence culture. Moving on. Here's another wonderful Chaya Raichik tweet, and it reads, "This is a minor drag queen. He goes around doing sexual performances and wearing provocative outfits while adults clap along and stuff money into his clothing." So I found the child drag queen they were talking about. They're 16 years old, by the way. Yeah, that's still like a child, but like, you know. Okay, so here's what we have. They apparently, from what I gather, this is a trans mask. So I believe they do go by he, him. I think Chaya Raichik was attempting to misgender him because she thinks that this is someone that was born male and transitioned to female, but that's not the case. I think they're on testosterone even, as you can see right here.
This is my voice 2 days on testosterone. Also, I do not know what my hair is doing right now.
This is my voice 1 year on testosterone, and I still don't know what my hair is doing.
Yeah, they're a trans mask. So, yep. Transphobia failed. Transphobia failed. So yeah, this is a transmasculine person who likes to wear really glittery, feminine clothing. But I think in his personal life, he's more like masculine. Seems like it. Yeah.
Reduce your expectations to 0.
Instead, he's a beautiful man. So, I don't know. He's cool. So yeah, this is a trans mask who dresses up in like. None of this is really like slutty.
I'm very proud of how I look.
This is like.
Yes,
Conservatives
I
would
am
be
high
okay
maintenance.
with
I think
a
you gotta
biological
be.
female wearing this.
And frankly,
which,
I enjoy
I
it.
guess technically Nemo is, but if we want to be like really technical, yes. Where's that clip that Lived to TikTok was talking about? Let me go find it really quick. I found the clip that Chaya Raichik, screenshotted. Here we go.
I really like corn.
What do you like about corn?
It's corn! A big corn that knobs. It has the juice.
That was it. That was it. You see? Look at that. You see the way he swayed his shoulders? Oh my god. Oh, it's so horrible.
It's corn! I can tell you all about it. I mean, look at this thing. When I try to get out of anything in.
Very sexual. Very sexual. Look at how sexual all of this is.
Big corn that knobs. It has the juice.
Oh my god, you see that shoulder sway? Like that made every conservative like cream their pants. Oh boy. Oh how sexual doing the splits. Oh my. If you're gonna get an orgasm from seeing someone do the splits, please go outside.
It's corn!
Oh my god. How
I
sexual.
can tell you all about
Oh my god. Oh no. This 16-year-old is like doing a hula hoop with their foot. Oh my god, it's practically child grooming. Look at how sexual this is. Are you turned on yet?
I mean, look at this thing. When I try to get
And if you have a problem with the outfits, I say that's a you problem. I don't know about you, but for me, I'm not exactly like sexually aroused by what I'm seeing here. I mean, they're just cute outfits. Not even that sexual, really. Is that, I can't. I mean, that's like the. I can't even tell if there's like. It's probably something underneath that. I don't think it's. I can't tell. I mean, like, I wasn't there, so I don't know. I honest to God, I really can't tell. But I do believe there's like something like underneath, right there. I don't think it's just like simply straps. And I've seen girls in high school wear shorts that are like this high. Oh my God, how devious. Oh boy, you see, it's only bad when it's drag or like queer oriented. You see, teenage girls can wear short shorts, but if you're drag teen doing it, gross, disgusting. You're literally grooming kids. You are a groomed child. You are a sexualized child. Look at all of these people like orgasming in their pants from seeing a drag queen just dance. Oh my God, how inappropriate. Oh, it's all like so sexual. She's practically sucking dick on stage. God damn it, I'm so sorry. Misgendering is hard. Yo, you're never gonna believe this. I found the outfit up close, and it turns out I was correct. Oh my God, look at this. Look at that. You see that? There was something underneath. There was something underneath. They will just lie. They will say anything. You see how she works? All she has to do is say a couple words. You know, just use a little bit of just use some language. All you gotta do is just tailor your language. You know, just call us sexual, then instantly you will look at this and think it's like some kind of gimp suit from far away. There was something underneath. It's not even a sexual. Ooh, I hate conservatives so much. This is a nothing burger, bro. The funny thing is, this is like the only example where this is an actual trans person partaking in drag. A trans male, a trans man that wears feminine clothing as drag, as a performance. Like, this is the only example that that like if conservatives actually like legitimately looks like deeper into this person, they would like their whole narrative that these things are all like interconnected would have a little bit of validity to it. The only thing that makes it like really invalid is that this is literally the only example. Like, legit. Because the majority of people in drag are not trans. Like, the vast majority of people in drag aren't trans. There are even cis women involved, there are men involved, there's all kinds of anybody can be part of it. It's an all-inclusive thing. So yeah, that's Libs of TikTok is dumb. Chaya Raichik is dumb. Moving on. Alright, here's another video. I want you to listen to what this video is saying, and I want you to try. And come up with how this can be spun into some form of child grooming narrative.
I did a gender reveal with both of my children, but it's not something that I would do if we ever had another baby. And the reason why I'm against it is because you don't know your baby's gender. It's impossible to know a baby's gender. You can only know your baby's sex. Sex is about the physical characteristics. Gender is something that they decide for themselves. When I look back on the things that I did with my first baby, I cringe, but that's just what happens when you grow and evolve and learn more. If we have another baby, I will try my hardest to not find out the sex at all until the baby is born. I did a gender reveal with both.
Alright, so what she's saying here is that she's saying that gender and sex are different. Gender are social characteristics, and sex are physical characteristics that you're born with. You know, makes sense. And both of them are bimodal. Both, like, gender can be expressed any way you want, whereas sex can be like whatever nature wants you to be, basically. Like multiple, you know, there's all forms of things in between, like the typical male and the typical female in terms of sex. So, you know, there's so many different combinations and chromosomal combinations, you know, gender, sex. Very weird like that. Makes sense. And since gender is a characteristic, you know, they're all characteristics and identities that you, you know, you kind of decide for yourself. You know, that means is, you know, you can't really know what a child will, or what identity a child will grow into, you know, as they age. You never know. So, you know, you just let them decide for themselves as they go older, you know. You take whatever identity you want to as you get older. It makes sense. You know, if you want to be, a hipster, or you want to be goth, or you want to be a woman, then go ahead, go for it, my friend. Alright, let's see how this is child grooming. No gender reveal parties because you can't know a baby's gender because they decide their gender for themselves. Based. So, as we all know, since this is Chaya Raichik, she's framing this as a horrible, like, satanic bad thing, because, you know, gender reveal parties are the most important thing on the planet, and children can't choose their gender because you as a parent, you have to choose their gender for them. You have to groom your children into conforming to the status quo. And that's good because status quo makes you feel comfortable and nice and happy. Doesn't make the child feel happy if they, especially if they don't want it. It's just for you. It's just for the parents. It's just for society. We have to force everyone to conform. Conformity is good. Conformity makes conservatives feel nice, happy, and comfy. Because change is bad and scary. So now Chaya Raichik is complaining about this little drag show apparently that's, you know, kind of, well, obviously like explicitly sexual. Not like super explicit, but you know, it's like really on that line of sexual. The funny thing is, this show specifically, they said it was adult oriented and children can't attend unless they have an adult accompanying them. If you ask me, I would never take my child to this. I wouldn't. If I had children, I wouldn't do it. It's not my, I don't know, I don't think it's appropriate for a child to witness this thing. Is it harmful to them? No. Like, not really. It's just simply inappropriate. It shouldn't go any further than that. It's not, I'm not grooming my child into whatever. I'm grooming my children into seeing reindeer boobs. And then after I groom them into that, then I help me out here. I don't know what the next step is. If you think the next step is sexual assault, then I got news for you. People who want to rape children will just rape children without all the extra steps. Delusional take, my friends. Now, if you're a parent and you understandably have a problem with other parents making the mistake of taking their children to a show like this, I ask you, where was this massive, huge moral panic over parents taking their children to an R-rated movie? Were parents even taking their 10-year-olds to PG-13 rated movies? Something that is a common phenomenon for forever. Pretty much. I was an adult when, I'm sorry. I was in, I think it was in like a freshman year in high school or like late middle school when an adult family member of mine took me to go see Deadpool. If this whole drag thing is child grooming, then taking me to go see Deadpool is also child grooming. And if you're willing to concede that as a genuine definition, then you have conceded that you have just conceded stupidity. You're telling me that you are stupid and you are proud of being stupid. That's the only thing I can get from that. If you're willing to concede that definition, you have just accepted your own stupidity. Now, I need to remind you, a conservative looking at this, right? They're not just looking at this, they're looking at the entire LGBTQ community. Gay people, lesbians, trans people, they're all connected and part of this cabal. When, in a conservative's mind, when they look at this, they're also looking at gender reaffirming surgery being performed on 10-year-olds. They're also looking at two gay people kissing in front of a child, and somehow that's going to light that child on fire. They're also part of this cabal that makes hormone blockers. They're also part of the cabal that makes cross-sex hormones. They're also sex trafficking kids, and you know, you could just think of anything, and it'll justify your moral panic against this. Just whatever your little heart desires. Because once you attach child grooming to this, your mind can go wild, and you can attach anything to this, anything you want to. Again, this is not isolated. This is supposed to be attached to everything Live to TikTok doesn't like, and that's just gay and trans people. So this one is showcasing Live to TikTok. Chaya Raichik's disdain for Eli Ehrlich because they give cross-sex hormones to quote minors, but I'm sorry to tell you, I highly doubt 10-year-olds are getting access to these. I don't think they even want or need them. think like once they get like 16, 17 and beyond, then they'll be eligible for hormones, and more often than not, they're going to be the ones that want and need them. And I'm sorry, but once you get that age, 16, 17-year-olds they already know what their gender is, they know what they want, and they know what they're going to do about it going forward. They know the consequences of taking HRT. They already get it. And who cares if they get fucking, you want to say that they're being, quote, chemically castrated, whatever. They can still reproduce regardless, and you don't have to reproduce to be valid as a human being. You don't need to biologically reproduce, because what the fuck is so important about that? Other people can do it. Trans people are in the very small minority of the entire population. The world can survive without them reproducing. Everything will be okay. Please keep your breeding kink out of politics. Here's another TikTok that Chaya Raichik found because she's mad that she's saying that now we're
They're now arguing that you can actually change your biological sex.
which technically speaking, you can change your biological makeup. You can change yourself biologically, but like, can't really. I don't know if you can really change your chromosomes. I don't think you can. But that's not what the argument is. They're not saying that you weren't born biologically male or female. They're saying that HRT changes you biologically, which is the whole point of the drugs. And Lizard TikTok knows is what the drugs do, because that's what her problem is with them in the first place. That's why she hates them, and that's why she starts a whole moral panic and goes on a whole tirade against them. Because they change you biologically. But now you're framing this as this argument specifically as now they can't, and you're delusional when you argue that they can change it. It makes no sense. It makes literally no sense. I want to see what this person's talking about.
Interesting how little cis people actually know about biological sex. Like, your chromosomes dictate everything, and you'll never be a real boy or a real girl. Do you know how easy it is to completely change your body with hormones? I grew a penis within my first month of being on testosterone. I started having full-blown boy puberty around month 3 or 4. Trans women can grow breasts, exactly like cis women can.
They can.
Trans women can lactate. Everything you think you know about how bodies are set in stone and can't be changed, you're literally just wrong. It's interesting how little cis people actually know about biology.
HRT does a lot of things for you. It's hell, like even when you start like building up, like when you start working out while on estrogen, your body kind of builds itself up as if it were a female body, because that's the point of taking the estrogen. It grows boobs. It gives you the ability to lactate. It even like grows your waist and everything. It gives you like a smaller. It increases your hip weights, whatever. You know what I mean. It does a lot. That's the point of HRT. It changes you biologically. That's what they're saying. And technically speaking, that's kind of changing your biological sex, but like it changes the stuff that matters to the point where you actually fit what your gender identity is. So yeah, that's the point of HRT. And you're saying that HRT doesn't do that because it doesn't fit your your current argument. And I say current argument because Chaya's argument will change if we're talking about children. Then she'll say they will absolutely change you and it's bad, and you should be killing trans people for it. Here's another TikTok that Libs TikTok is trying to create a whole narrative around. They're quoting what the person said. You're gay, you're gay, you're gay. That's not the same as queer. Queerness is supposed to be radical. Which, personally, I think that's a pretty bad take. And they're saying the quiet part out loud because what Chaya Raichik seems to think is that radicalism means being violently, well, it just means being extremely violent and, like, evil. That's what radicalism means. No, radicalism means just outside of the current current political standard. trying to push for a radical change in society. I mean, being anti-slavery was a radical position. Framing radicalism as an inherently bad thing is politically dishonest and stupid.
I will no longer call a person queer if I don't see them participating in queer politic. You're gay, sure, you're gay. That is not the same as queer. If you haven't put a mask on in a week, not queer. You're just not queer. You're not. Queerness is supposed to be radical. It's supposed to be about supporting each other, helping each other, and making sure that we lift up from the most vulnerable of our community. A lot of you gays are not acting like queers right now, so I'm not gonna call you queer.
This is a stupid take, by the way. From my understanding, being queer is an umbrella term to describe anybody that is part of the LGBT community, or anybody that is not involved, that is not just in that is not cishet or in a monogamous relationship. I believe being poly is considered also being queer as well. Being queer is literally just going outside of the cishet standard, cishet monogamous standard. That's what being queer is. Being queer is not being politically radical. Really dumb take on this person's part. I completely disagree with what they're saying here. But again, that's just all it is. This is just a bad take. And Libs of TikTok does just find these things, but instead of just leaving it at just being a bad take, she's trying to frame it as a whole massive movement that is destroying society.
This is what they're pushing your kids in school now. That you can get irreversible surgery if you think you're the opposite gender.
Is that what this is saying? Let's see what it's saying here. What does it mean when a person is transgender? A transgender person strongly believes he or she is the opposite gender of that which is indicated by biological sex. What do transgender people generally do to cope in society? Some choose to change their appearance, clothing, and name to match the gender they feel they really are. A few transgender people undergo expensive reconstruction surgery to match their organs with their gender. That doesn't look anything like what Chaya Raichik was saying, huh? They're just describing what transgender people typically do. What part of this is saying you should? If you think you're the quote opposite gender, you should and you have to pursue surgery. You must pursue surgery. But this sentence, a few transgender people undergo expensive reconstruction surgery to match their organs with their gender. Is this telling you to go out and get surgery? No, this is literally just an observational thing. It's observing and teaching. This is not telling you what you should do. It's not telling you, oh, if you're gender non-conforming, you must pursue surgery. No, this is just describing what transgender people do. Alright, now let's see how this TikTok is part of the massive Jewish cabal that is destroying society.
What makes somebody fat phobic at the gym? Let's talk about it. Are you going to the gym so you can get a flat stomach? Or are you going to the gym so you can build a stable core and have better posture? Are you motivated to go to the gym so that you can lose weight? Or are you focused on increasing muscle and bone density? Do you only consider a workout good when you feel sore or tired the next day? Or do you look to feel energized and awake after working out? Are you prioritizing leg day because you want your butt to look super delicious? Or is it because you know strong glutes help protect your knees and your back? Wanting to work out does not make anyone fat phobic, but the motivations why you might go to the gym do. What?
Wow, very simple. So what she's saying is, what's fat phobic is, the thing that makes you fat phobic is if you're going to the gym solely to avoid being overweight, or what many consider to be overweight, rather than going to the gym to just be healthy. Not a bad take, because being being thick or chubby even is not healthy, is not unhealthy inherently. Being morbidly obese is definitely unhealthy. being fat isn't, or even just simply like a little bit overweight. That's not unhealthy. And going to the gym to avoid that kind of is fatphobic. I agree that it's fatphobic. The Chaya Raichik says going to the gym so you can lose weight is fatphobic. See how dishonest Chaya Raichik is? How she oversimplified what the nuance of what they were discussing here? Because Chaya Raichik and all of her fucking brain-dead audiences, they don't believe in nuance. They want the world to be simple. They want simple language. They want something they can easily digest, something that they can easily digest to make them angry or happy. That's all they care about. They want a simple little square hole, circle hole society. Square going square hole, circle going circle hole. Very boring. Conservatives are so dumb. They can't even they don't even want to look deep into certain issues because that's too hard. It's not simple enough. They're babies. They need kindergarten lessons. But again, this has nothing to do with like the degeneration of society. This is somebody with some random person on TikTok with a take that Liz of TikTok with their massive audience, like Chaya Raichik with their huge massive audience, decided to put on screen for all to see to further her narrative against how liberals are destroying everything, when it's just somebody on the internet saying stuff. God, I wish conservatives would just shut up and sit in the corner and play with Legos and just let us big people do the talking. Alright, so I'm going to preface this by saying that not all agender, non-binary, or gender fluid people are going to pursue surgeries. Not always. Just simply identifying as such is not harmful to yourself, alright? So Liz of TikTok has a problem with this person just affirming a child who decides to take on that identity and literally protecting that child from their parents to, just in case those parents are disapproving and will psychologically and emotionally abuse them for daring to go outside of the status quo. Because see, what Liz of TikTok has a problem with is it's not child grooming that she has a problem with. She is actually pro child grooming. She only supports child grooming as long as it's conservative parents grooming their children into conforming to the status quo. Because that, as long as you're doing that form of child grooming, that is cool and based. But the thing that objectively is in child grooming, which is just affirming a child's own choices, that is child grooming somehow, which is fucking stupid. It's bad framing, and they're just dishonest on the TikTok part. And that is a majority of how she frames all of these things regarding teachers. It is stupid, it is dishonest, and foolish even. Chaya Raichik is a piece of shit, and fuck her. Anyway, with that all being said, I think you get the gist of this. I'll stop it right here. So yeah, I'll catch y'all later. Peace.
At JT's Chrysler Jeep Dodge in Lexington, I'm going to give you the moon! It's deal-tastic me, and I make this the most easiest decision you ever make. From now to the end of the month, pay $0 down and nothing till January next year. Like new Jeep from $14,990. That's good price. Save $8,000 on Chrysler 300. Or new Jeep Conference or Chrysler 200 from $99 a month. That's a lot of good stuff. You're only going to get that at the JT's Chrysler Jeep Dodge in Lexington. Do it? JT'sJeep.com.